look what I found. I've been holding on to this cigar for about 2 years. This baby right here is the Flor Dominicana, let me get it right, TCFKA Oscuro. You can't find these anymore, baby. But we're gonna smoke one next on the Lancer Life. So, I'm kind of a collector. I like to find cool stuff and hold on to it. I used to collect comic books. I used to collect records and stuff like that. And there's a certain pride I have with having stuff and holding on to it and watching it age. Oops, cut myself off there. Just something I dig about doing that and having that, you know, even with my wines. But a very wise man recently told me, why hold on to stuff? At my age, you know, some people collect stuff and never get the benefit of it, especially when you're talking about something that you consume, wine or cigar. New philosophy: don't buy them and hold them, buy them and smoke them. So we're gonna smoke this today. Now these are a limited production cigar that La Flor Dominicana pulls out. Now, just in the time I've pulled it out of the box, I've banged it up around, and you're going to see that this thing has been, you know, it's been knocked around a little bit. But this is a cigar by La Flor Dominicana. Yes, the same La Flor Dominicana that last year had the #1 cigar of the year, the Andalusian Bull. They put out really good cigars. They are Dominican cigars that give you the full flavor of a Nicaraguan cigar, for me. I mean, that's the best way to describe the cigars by La Flor Dominicana. You might have seen me do the oral chisel. In fact, got a tubo here from smoking that recently. The chisel design is a patented design. It's designed so that you can squeeze the cigar and pop it open, as opposed to having to cut it. I like the oral chisels. I mean, I like the chisel design. But basically, what you're going to get with most of the Flor Dominicana cigars is a nice, robust flavor, full of a well-fermented Dominican filler and Dominican binder, which is what you're absolutely going to get with this guy. In addition, what we have is an Ecuadorian Sumatra wrapper. Now, part of the confusion I have in doing my research for this is the older versions, because they come out with a different version, different year. You'll see natural tobacco at the top and the bottom, and the Oscuro in the middle. They'll flip-flop that from year to year. They like to do two tones and they have different colors. But some of the things I've read indicated that the wrapper is actually Connecticut broadleaf that might be grown in different places. I don't know. Now, different years they do a different variation, different take on the cigar. I purchased this cigar in 2015, maybe 2016. I think it was 2015 now. No, it was definitely 2016, early 2016. So this could be a 2016, this could be a 2014. When you look up this cigar online, they'll give you different color schemes, different shapes, but I think that's reflective of the years. Okay, enough about the daggone history. Let's get to smoking. Now, one of the things I dig about the little pigtail is you get to pinch it off and smoke it. And as soon as I stop, I will do that, and then we'll edit everything up to make it look tight. So here's what we're going to do. It's been a long time. I've been waiting to do this for a good while. Okay, and that's our hole. One of the toughest things about keeping this cigar around so long is keeping it from being damaged. And listen, if you have a humidor that you're in and out of a lot, your cigars are going to get banged around. There's just there's no way around it. So you do the best you can, and you try to preserve it. One of the things I've attempted to do is have multiple boxes. So I have a humidor where I put put guys like this in that tend to not get knocked around. When I have a lot more cigars, I'll keep my Cuban cigars in a separate. And the reason for that is quality control out of Cuba hadn't been so good lately. And I know cases where people who have genuine Cuban cigars loaded with beetles ruin their box. So if I put my Cuban cigars in with other cigars, I tend to put those in a Ziploc bag with a humidipack and all that stuff, just to protect the other cigars. But if you go in and out of a box frequently, you're going to bang your stuff around. I have the other box where I'll put my everyday smokes. That's going to be the box that I'm digging into, every day, essentially getting a cigar or two. A lot of movement, a lot of turnover in that box. And those cigars aren't going to be there that long anyway, so you're not too worried about damage them, and they're not your pride and joy in your collector sticks. Okay, just what I do. Here we go. We're going to smoke this baby. We're supposed to get spice and chocolate. Basically, that's it. Pretty cigar, expensive cigar, but not supposed to be a overly impressive cigar. It's just one of those things that I saw it and I had to have it. And so here we go. Wow. I did something that I don't normally do that you should do. I get a nice cold draw. Nice chocolate flavor. Very earthy. Of course, you're not going to get any spice on that cold draw, but the cold draw tastes pretty damn good. So, that's working. Now we're going to light. Getting some of the tobacco from that tear. Look at it, clean. Gotta get a closer for you with this. And that's what it looks like to set and match $20, because that's how much this stick is. It's about $20 cigar. I've said before, you spend that much for a cigar, you have a right to expect a lot in terms of balance, complexity, good flavor. I mean, you just do. There's no ways around it. I don't know how you can survive with this. I mean, it looks fantastic. It looks like a $20 cigar, but you're only going to get me one time on a cigar that looks good and smokes crappy. So it absolutely, at this price, better not be flaky. And it absolutely needs to have a razor sharp spot on burn too. It needs to burn even. Minimum. Those are like minimum requirements, especially for a cigar that I've kept aged in the humidor. In fact, that in some cases should actually improve the taste and flavor. So, that far in, absolute lip smacking cocoa. Cold draw in the original description, absolutely spot on, man. That thing tastes like a dark chocolate candy bar except without the sweet. It's, you know, one of those dark chocolate, non-sweet things that, you know, you cook with. For the very small hole to draw from, drawing is important, and it's got a really nice, easy draw. So I don't feel like I'm sucking a triple thick milkshake through a straw. I want you to see that it's burning right there. So far, no problem. Listen, that little bit right there is no problem. A good cigar will self-correct. So, you know, I'll put that down on the bottom, let the ash get down there and get that. Chocolate, chocolate, and more chocolate, and some chocolate with some chocolate. This is a chocolatey stick. Absolutely good cocoa, bitter cocoa flavor. Very good. Now, normally I've given a lot of descriptions where I've said a cigar is full flavored and medium body, okay? This is the first cigar where I can say fuller body and medium flavored, right? It's not, it's a very smoky smoke, but the bodiness of it is lighter than I expect. Like, the body doesn't match up with the smoke, and the smoke is medium. It's like lighter than the smoke. That's the best way I can describe it. So it's interesting. Mouth getting some salivation. To me, I've said this before, I'll say it in all cases. My definition, not cigar aficionados, conhead, half wheel. My definition of a balanced cigar is when you smoke it and your mouth is neither dry nor overly salivating. I mean, you don't have a juicy mouth where you spit and stuff like that, and I don't need a drink of water. It's good balance in the mouth where the smoke and the flavors are creating what I call a natural mouth reaction to it, where it doesn't require you to pair a cigar with some things. Listen, we like to pair our cigars with something, but sitting here smoking and driving in the car, I shouldn't need a bourbon to enjoy a cigar or a wine, and I shouldn't be needing to spit in my cup every 2 seconds because I'm drooling because it's overly salty. So again, that's for some of you who aren't familiar with my videos. The spice / pepper is very subtle. This is not a cigar that's beating me over the head. No sweat or anything like that. Rather enjoyable. So far, this far into the stick, a novice could enjoy this. And an experienced person can get a kick out of it. Now, if you like full body, you need a cigar that's, like two flavors having a punching match in your mouth. This is not for you so far. I've had a full breakfast, made myself a crab meat and mushroom omelet. Stomach's pretty full, some coffee and some lemonade. But I don't feel like I needed to have a lot of food on my stomach to enjoy it. But almost like the Flor Dominicana with that Pella de Oro. I mean, this is a smoky joker. This is something that I'm glad I'm in the car. I have the windows rolled down so that I can breathe, because this thing is putting out a lot. I mean, this is putting out choo-choo train smoke. Alright, so I'm a little concerned about the burn. It's not even. Shouldn't get that from a cigar that you pay this kind of coin for. But I'm not going to touch it up until I get a little longer ash, because I want to see what kind of hang time, you know, I'm going to get from the ash and how sturdy and firm that is. That's, you know, we need to know whether this is a tuxedo rated cigar or not. The flavor profile is staying consistent. Got no complaints. And what I'm going to do for y'all today is I'm going to sign out here, get a little further down. You see it's starting to correct, and I'll holler at you a little further down and see if anything changes. Okay, we're near the end now. We got a full-on canoe right here. That's not good for a $20 cigar. The ash is super tight. If this thing had a burn properly, I'm thinking that we would have had a really nice long ash, but I absolutely have to break this ash off and touch this thing up to get it to burn evenly. So the taste stayed a little consistent. It got a little more spicy as we went along. Cayenne spicy, not pepper. Pepper to me, it tastes like pepper, but heat, which is what this definition of spice is. We definitely got some more heat going on in there. So, would I buy this again? No, not a $20 cigar for me. The Flor Dominicana puts out a lot of great products. This is gimmicky to me. It looks great. I've held on to this for a long time in my box. Quite frankly, I'm disappointed. I've seen ratings of 88. I've seen ratings of 90. I'm more on the 88 side in terms of that. I normally don't rate cigars. I don't recommend you get this. I rarely do that. It tastes okay. It's not a bad tasting cigar. It's not an $18 cigar. That's really what it boils down to. For the price, for what I'm getting in the burn, for what I'm getting in the flavor profile, it's nothing out of the ordinary. The only thing that's out of ordinary is the price. So, the Flor Dominicana, what is this thing again? I'll give you a look at the cigar again. The Flor Dominicana TCFKA Oscuro, 1675 on some sites. I didn't go to one of those websites. I really got held up. Nice to look good at when you go out, but this don't look good when you go out. So Man, so disappointed. Held on to this cigar for a long time. I'm curious to see what other reviewers say, so I'll probably look at what other people say about the cigar before I do the write-up. Thanks for hanging with me. For more reviews, hit the like button on this and subscribe to me on YouTube at The Lancer Life. But to see some more reviews, written reviews, I have more written reviews than I have video reviews. You need to check me out at www.thelancerlife.com. Thanks for hanging with me. I'm Charles Kelly with The Lancer Life saying, ho, 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 it's almost Christmas. Peace out.